We are jumping straight into the action with massive news today. Netflix is expanding its NFL coverage by reportedly adding the NFL Honors Ceremony to its lineup next season. This is a huge development, as reports suggest Netflix will secure exclusive rights to this traditional event, meaning no linear television broadcast next season. We dive into how this move fits into their overall strategy for live sports entertainment.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This Allen 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we turn to the world of television that is sparking deep conversations. Netflix's new series, Lord of the Flies, is hitting a nerve, exploring the complex questions young men and boys face in the 21st century. Experts are saying this show is crucial because it shifts the focus from seeing boys as trouble to understanding the systemic issues shaping their development. Our third story is a nostalgic look at comedy royalty. A new documentary is finally revealing the full story of Martin Short, showcasing his incredible 5-decade-spanning career and the deep connections he had with his comedy peers. We explore the personal journey of Marty Short and the love that defined his life and work. And finally, we hit breaking news with a major legal challenge. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed a lawsuit against Netflix, accusing the streaming giant of illegally spying on Texans by collecting user data without consent. This suit claims Netflix is building a surveillance program to monetize billions from user behavior, and we break down the implications of this massive privacy battle. Netflix is expanding its NFL programming, reportedly adding the NFL Honors Ceremony to its lineup as part of a new deal. According to Ryan Glaspiegle of Front Office Sports, this move is part of an expected expansion, which will bring Netflix's total NFL exposure next season to 5 games, including its existing Christmas Day doubleheader. The expansion also includes the Week 1 game in Australia and a new Thanksgiving Eve contest in November. The NFL Honors, traditionally broadcast by the network airing the Super Bowl and often simulcast on NFL Network, are expected to be exclusive to Netflix under the new agreement, meaning there will be no linear television broadcast next season. Co-CEO Ted Sarandos recently defended Netflix's strategy of eventizing games and sports-adjacent content, citing examples like the Tom Brady roast. While the NFL Honors have historically drawn modest viewership, averaging 3.7 million viewers in February and just 2.3 million the previous year, Netflix sees the event as a natural fit for its entertainment-focused production strategy. Netflix is scheduled to hold its upfront presentation on Wednesday to publicly unveil the new NFL deals for advertisers. Netflix's new series, Lord of the Flies, is resonating with audiences by confronting contemporary issues surrounding masculinity and the challenges young men face in the 21st century. The adaptation of William Golding's novel, set in the 1950s, explores themes of group dynamics, conflict, and the struggle to define manhood, mirroring the boys' isolation and alliances on a deserted island. Following previous series like Adolescence and Half Man, Lord of the Flies taps into a growing conversation about the pressures young men endure. Experts suggest the focus should shift from viewing boys as inherently problematic to recognizing that they are currently in trouble due to systemic societal shifts. Nick Isles, director of the UK's Centre for Policy Research on Men and Boys, emphasized the need to rethink societal approaches to men. He noted that the conflict between traditional and modern ideas of masculinity, exemplified by characters representing aggressive dominance versus empathy and collaboration, is playing out in the real world and is being exploited by reactionary online movements. Rachel Rogers, an associate professor of psychology at Northeastern University, attributes this masculinity crisis to real-world factors. These include a widening education gap between men and women globally, particularly in the US and UK, and a corresponding decline in men's representation in the workforce. As stereotypically masculine values related to physical strength lose relevance in the labor market, softer skills like empathy are becoming more valued, leaving some young men feeling hopeless and unable to contribute. Isles and Rogers point out that this hopelessness can be exploited by online spaces, such as the manosphere, where hypermasculine influencers promote reactionary narratives that blame women for societal problems. Furthermore, a 2025 survey of young men in the U.S. indicated lower support for gender equality, and the American Federation of Teachers has acknowledged a rise in classroom misogyny. Matthew Alemu, an assistant professor of sociology, added that these issues are compounded by a lack of prominent male role models or paternal figures for many young men. He highlighted that while television shows cannot solve systemic issues, they can serve as a crucial starting point for dialogue. The contrast between Ralph's empathetic approach and Jack's aggressive dominance reflects real-world tensions, and these narratives can initiate necessary conversations about masculinity, its complexities, and healthier models for it. A new documentary offers an intimate and comprehensive look into the enduring, manic, and joyful career of comedian Steve Martin, revealing facets of his life previously unseen. Directed by Lawrence Kasdan, the film delves into Martin's 5-decade journey, drawing heavily on extensive archival footage, behind-the-scenes material, and personal home movies narrated by Martin himself. The documentary posits that Martin deserves his own feature-length documentary, even beyond the existing works focused on his contemporaries like Lorne Michaels and Chevy Chase. The narrative traces Martin's upbringing in Hamilton, Ontario, highlighting the challenges he faced, including the loss of his brother at age 12, his mother's death from cancer at 18, and his father's passing at 20. This early adversity was tempered by crucial friendships, notably with Eugene Levy, who encouraged Martin to pursue acting over traditional academic paths. Martin recalls there was no expectation to be a star, yet he found success in various ventures. His career trajectory is mapped across significant milestones, including his role in the Toronto version of Godspell, where he co-starred with Levy and Gilda Radner, and his transition into sketch comedy with SCTV, where he originated iconic characters like Ed Grimley and Nathan Thurm. Martin emphasizes the necessity of confidence, stating, "If you don't have the confidence to go up there and fail, then you can't do it." This philosophy is supported by testimonials from peers like Steve Martin and John Mulaney. The film also explores the deep, familial bonds Martin maintained with his comedy circle, noting how the professional comedy family often blurred into actual family, with marriages and shared life events connecting many of the cast members. The documentary provides a balanced view of his filmography, juxtaposing his successes with acknowledged failures, yet consistently showcasing his effervescence in projects ranging from Broadway triumphs to late-night television appearances. Beyond the comedy, the documentary serves as a loving tribute to Martin's late wife, Nancy Dolman, and their 4-decade partnership. Surprising revelations include the exposure of Martin's siblings' comedic talents and a remarkable behind-the-scenes moment where Martin arranged for Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks to reenact a scene from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The core theme explored is the pursuit of joy in a creative life over commercial success. Martin's philosophy, crystallized in an interview with Tom Snyder, centers on managing loss. "You actually have a choice. How do I handle this? Do I collapse? Do I feel defeated forever? Or do I actually kind of learn that life is short and have a glass of wine and laugh and fun and appreciate these people and never let them go?" The home movies serve to keep the spirit of his loved ones alive, reinforcing the message that the connections forged with him are reciprocal, as those in his life desire to remain connected to him. A new lawsuit has been filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton against Netflix, accusing the streaming giant of illegally spying on Texans, including children, by collecting user data without consent. The lawsuit characterizes Netflix as a logging company that records and monetizes billions of behavioral events, in addition to streaming movies. According to the filing, Netflix allegedly uses intentional engineering to track and log users, viewing habits, preferences, devices, household networks, application usage, and other sensitive behavioral data. The complaint asserts that every interaction on the platform generates a data point revealing user information, with tracking allegedly targeting both adults and children. The suit further alleges that Netflix earns billions annually from the sale of this data and designs its platform to be addictive, citing the autoplay function as an example intended to keep users, including children, watching for extended periods. Paxton's office claims these actions violate the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act. In a statement, Paxton asserted that Netflix has built a surveillance program to illegally profit from Texans' personal data without consent, and accused the company of misleading consumers by exploiting private data. In response, Netflix issued a statement to channel YouTube, dismissing the lawsuit as lacking merit and based on inaccurate information. The company maintained that it takes privacy seriously and complies with data protection laws, promising to address the allegations in court and further explain its parental controls and privacy practices.